Before we get into the details of khat and sexual function, it's important to note that the research is still very limited, sometimes research results are mixed, and therefore the subject is considered controversial. Notwithstanding the foregoing, it appears that men who consume chronically moderate large amounts of khat might experience erectile dysfunction, possibly because of its effect on the cardiovascular and endocrine systems. The results suggested that khat's high dose decreases sperm quality and testosterone levels, and the authors concluded that it might contribute to male infertility. In a review article about the harmful effects of khat, spermaturia, sperm cell malformations, impotence, and reduced libido were reported. In addition, 2 small clinical studies examined the influence of chronic khat consumption on semen parameters in men. In both studies, it was established that khat addicts had a reduced semen volume, low sperm count and reduced sperm motility, along with an increase in the number of abnormal sperm. So what is Muguka?
Grab some breakfast and maybe even try out some narcotics. Wait, what?
Yeah, there is a drug that we're going to try.
Muguka Catha edulis vale are residue leaves which are chewed to elicit stimulate effect. Muguka is closely related to Mira Khat edulis fox. Mira was widely used in Kenya, but Muguka, which is a cheaper and a more potent alternative, has become more appealing and more preferred. According to nesieda.it, is reported that quantity of Muguka cost 1/10 the price of a quantity of Mira that would yield the same level of intoxication. In the 1980s, some farmers transported the Meru type of Mira, also called Ejaisa Kiswahili, for darkness because it makes the consumer's eyes dim to mbia and mbu, and managed to develop a mutant that proved to be highly resistant. This mbu Mira came to be known as Muguka and subsequently grew in population in Eastern Province. Before we continue, let's get the difference between Muguka and Mira for clarity's sake. The differences between Muguka and khat or Mira is in the levels of cateins and cathenones, the chemicals that cause a feel-good effect on the users. Mira users chew the shoot while Muguka consumers chew the leaves. Both Mira and Muguka have catein and cathenone, but the potency is high in the leaves, which is the Muguka. Muguka potency is attributed to its leaves, which contain natural amphetamine that stimulates the central nervous system when chewed. When khat leaves are chewed, catein and cathenone are released and absorbed through mucous membrane of the mouth as well as the lining of the stomach. Demonstration in lab animals shows that one or both of these chemicals causes the body to recycle these neurotransmitters more slowly, resulting in wakefulness and insomnia associated with khat use. When khat leaves dry, more potent chemical, cathenone, decomposes within 48 hours, leaving behind milder chemical catein, thus harvesting transport khat by packaging the fresh leaves and stems in plastic bag or wrapping them in banana leaves to preserve their moisture and keep the cathenone potent. Meru country has been known for several decades for its khat cultivation, while Embu County has seen rush on Mira in recent years. It is grown in Eastern Province of Kenya, mostly in Mbia and Embu districts. It is very popular with the local residents in this part of the country. Muguka comes easier to carry leaves as opposed to Mira's cumbersome bundles of twigs. According to Chairman Mbari Embu Cooperative Society, the stimulant, now referred as green gold, has been embraced by more than 100,000 farmers in Embu County. The stimulant also supports close to 1 million residents who benefits directly or indirectly from the stimulant, with more than 20 billion annually in Embu County. The crop is fast growing and does well in the semi-arid lowland of Embu County, making it less vulnerable to erratic weather conditions. More small-scale farmers in central Kenya have switched from growing food crops to planting and harvesting an herbal stimulant known locally as Muguka, a variety of drug khat. The farmers say they now make almost 3 times as much from growing the drug instead of food crops. Embu County government say there are now over 100,000 farmers growing the crop in the region, making Muguka one of the highest income earners for the region apart from coffee and tea, but the county government is urging farmers to create a balance between growing the herbal stimulant and food crop. The plant can be harvested every 7 to 10 days and thus provides a regular income to the household. Its impact on poverty reduction is significant and reduces vulnerability in times of internal or external shocks to the household. But on the flip side, there is consequences of food insecurity due to reduced production, e.g. maize, beans, bananas. Any stimulant has two sides, the positive and the negative side. Let's look at the benefits.
Sisi ni watu na kazi zetu.
Watu tujielewa.
Tunakula mdoka kwa raha zetu. Lakini sasa
sasa ni wanawake bomba. Wanafanyia kazi wenyewe.
Make people more alert and talkative. Produce feelings of elation. Suppress the appetite. Lead to periods of insomnia. Produce a feeling of calm if it's chewed over a few hours, with some describing it as being blissed out. Awareness. It has traditionally been used to elevate mood and combat fatigue. Side effects. This class of drugs are said to improve activities in the brain. Cathinone has high potency, higher chances of abuse compared to khat. Cathinone also increases energy, alertness, and euphoria. When a person chews the leaves of khat, she becomes hyped. Long-term use can bring to permanent tooth darkening, diminished sex drive, development of gastrointestinal infections, tract problems, cytotoxic effect on liver and kidney, and keratotic lesions at the side of chewing, lethargy.